Good morning, children. As a part of 8th class social studies, as a part of geography, we will see some important things regarding agriculture. So, agriculture, the English word which has been derived from the two Latin words ager and cultura. Ager means land, cultura means cultivation. So, agriculture gives the meaning of land cultivation. So, agriculture includes growing of crops, growing of vegetables, rearing of animals, all. That's why I have given you some terms here: apiculture, horticulture, pisciculture, sericulture, viticulture. So apiculture means actually that is getting honey by raising bees. Horticulture means growing different types of fruits and even flowers also. Next, pisciculture, rearing of fish. Sericulture, rearing of silkworm. Viticulture, that is maintaining grape gardens, that means growing grapes. So in such a way, all these terms are related to agriculture. So the agriculture which belongs to one country is different from another country. So having agriculture depends on different things, particularly which factors influence agriculture. Here I will mention two important factors, particularly physical factors, next human factors. The two important factors which influence agriculture, those are physical factors and human factors. Under physical factors you can see that is landforms, next climate, and another third important which actually influence the physical factors are soil. In this way, three important actually come under physical factors. So landforms, how the land is, whether it is a plateau or a mountain or a plain. So particularly all types of crops don't grow in plateau regions. All types of crops don't grow in mountain regions. Particularly in mountain region, as the soil is very thin, that those regions are not suitable for the growth of all types of crops. And even though the land is completely plain, even that land is also may not be suitable for the growth of certain crops. For example, take tea, coffee, rubber, all those they require different types of land form, particularly those grow in a hilly area, mountain area. In such a way, and other types of crops like paddy, wheat, and other types of all types of food crops may grow in a plain area. So in that way, the landforms are actually play important role in having different types of crops which come under physical factors. And next, coming to the climate, and some crops require cool climate, some crops require warm climate. For example, which require warm climate means paddy, which require cool climate means maybe that is wheat. And in that way, climate also influence having different types of crops. So that is wheat, paddy requires warm climate, wheat requires cool climate. As well as even rainfall also. Some crops require more rainfall, some crops require less rainfall. For example, paddy require more rainfall. They require continuous irrigation, which particularly paddy requires continuous irrigation. So in that way, rainfall also comes under climate. Next, soil. So soil also play important role in having different types of crops, particularly alluvial soils. Alluvial soils are more suitable for the growth of all types of crops. and black cotton soils. Black soil is suitable for the growth of particularly wheat. So in such a way, soils also important role in particularly why the black soil is called black cotton soil, because black soil is more suitable for the growth of cotton soil. It's not wheat, that is cotton. So why black soil is called why black soil is more suitable for the growth of cotton? Because of it, because of that only black soil is called a black cotton soil. So in such a way, all types of crops are not suitable for the growth of all types of crops. Certain soils are suitable for the growth of certain crops. So in such a way, all physical factors, that is land forms, climate, soil, actually which come under physical factors. Now human factors also. What actually come under human factors? For example, government policies. In what way government actually encourage certain crops? So government may give subsidies for some crops, government may not give some subsidies for some crops. Next, using of, that is irrigation facilities. Irrigation facilities also come under human factors. Next, mechanization. So in some areas the machinery is available, in some areas machinery may not be available for doing agriculture, that is mechanization. And even next, after government policies, irrigation, mechanization, and using of fertilizers and pesticides and pesticides. In some areas people may use more fertilizers and pesticides in order to have good yielding, but in some areas people may not use. In such a way, both physical factors and human factors influence agriculture. So after having a brief idea about the physical factors and human factors, now let us see the types of agriculture. So in types of agriculture, we see two types, particularly based on the land availability, based on the land availability, number one. Number two, based on the objectives of land use. So based on the land availability, based on the land use. Based on the land availability, we can see two types of agriculture, that is intensive agriculture as well as extensive agriculture. There are two types of agriculture you can see, intensive agriculture as well as extensive agriculture. Whereas objectives of land use. So in this way, you can see two types of agriculture, that is subsistence agriculture, commercial agriculture. So in that way, you can see two types of agriculture based on the land availability and based on the objectives of land use. And in some areas, land may be available more. In some areas, land availability is less. So based on the land availability, you can see two types of agriculture, that is intensive and extensive. So what is intensive? What is extensive? Let us see the differences between intensive and extensive. What are the important differences between intensive and extensive? Particularly, the intensive agriculture is generally practiced in the densely populated areas. Here, it is practiced in the sparsely populated areas. The first important difference between intensive and extensive is the intensive agriculture is practiced in a densely populated areas, whereas extensive agriculture is practiced in sparsely populated areas. So just if I say you the areas, you can understand. Particularly intensive agriculture you can see in the areas like that is what Asia, particularly Southeast Asia, Africa. In these areas you can see, and even yes, Asia and Southeast Asia, particularly Southeast Asia, Africa you can see that is what uh, important type of agriculture, that is intensive agriculture. Whereas extensive agriculture you can see in the areas that is prairies, next downs, next whereas in pampas also, in pampas, downs and prairies you can see. So particularly China, I can mention China here. Why I have given you the examples, because in these areas you can see densely populated areas. Yes, sparsely populated areas. So downs are the grasslands you can find in Australia. Pampas are the grasslands you can find in Argentina, particularly South America. Prairies you can find grasslands in North America. So in these areas the population is somewhat less, but here the population is more. And another important difference you can see in case of intensive agriculture is practiced where the farm size is less. Farm size is less. Whereas you can see extensive agriculture, large sized farms. Large sized farms. The small sized farms, large sized farms. In small sized farms you can see intensive agriculture, whereas extensive agriculture, large sized farms. And sometimes you can see even nearly 800 hectares, minimum size 800 hectares. In such huge areas you can see extensive agriculture. And another important one is the yield per hectare. Yield per hectare is low. Yield per hectare is not low, sorry. Yield per hectare is high. Whereas yield per hectare is low. So yield per hectare is high, yield per hectare is low. So what is yield? Yield is nothing but productivity. That means how much we grow in each hectare. Hectare is approximately more than 2.5 acres. So in such a way, here the yield per hectare is high, yield per hectare is low. In such a way, you can see the main differences between intensive and extensive agriculture. So, and other important differences also you can see here. We require low investment, whereas high investment. Low investment, high investment. Okay, so finally